Welcome to Daily Plunge. We're going through the Epistle to the Hebrews, chapter 11, verses 32 through chapter 12, verse 2. Now, the author is talking about that great cloud of witnesses, these heroes of the faith that have gone before. He's talked about, the patriarchs, and he's talked about Moses, but now he says, what more, I don't have time to talk about all of them, Gideon, Barak, Samson, David, Samuel, the prophets, all of them by faith, through faith in God's promises. They conquered kingdoms. They administered righteousness or righteous justice. They shut the mouths of lions. It talks about all these things that happened because it happened not by their works or efforts or goodness, but by faith and trust in God, right? They routed powerful forces aligned against them. And they escaped. And it turns, as he says, their weakness was turned into strength because it wasn't about their strength at all. It was about God's power, God's strength. And yet others, he says, and I really think this is the key verse. He says, there were others who were tortured, refused to be released so that they might gain the promised resurrection. They were tortured for their faith. They refused to deny God, and they received a better promise. They faced jeers and flogging. They went through chains and imprisonment. They were stoned to death, sawed in two, killed by the sword, destitute, prosecuted, persecuted, mistreated, wandering deserts. All of this hardship that they went through because they trusted God more than the things of this world, more than the splendors of this world. They were willing to endure these hardships for the promised reward that God gives. And then verse 38, the world was not worthy of them. They are unworthy of the world because they're better than the world, because they're better than the brokenness and sin of this world. They belong to God. They're the people of God. And so they were commended for faith, it says, even though they had not received everything that they were promised. They know that God has promised something better for them, and they're trusting that. And so that together with all the saints, including us today, they are made complete. And so, as it says, since God has planned something better for us, so that only together would we be made complete. And that word, it may read perfect, but really the better sense of that is complete. And complete how? Because God completes us. So therefore, we're surrounded by this great cloud, this great fellowship of saints who have gone before us. So we persevere in the race, fixing our eyes on Jesus. And so will you trust God has promised a better way for you to make you complete, better than anything this world can do to fill that hole in you, to make you complete. Trust God. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.